Hey guys, NucleusOfGaming here, and today I'm sniping gameplay on Cove, which is one of the new maps in the Black Ops 2 Vengeance DLC. So if you haven't already downloaded this map pack, I say it is definitely worth it. There are some negatives, there are some positives, however the positives do outweigh the negatives, in my opinion. So this is Cove. It's a pretty good map in my opinion. This is my first game on it, and so I didn't know the layout of the map at all. I knew a couple of things, like I figured out that if you threw a grenade there, it would hit B. So at the start I died a couple of times just trying to get used to the map layout, but eventually I went on a bit of a tear, a bit of a kill streak, getting a VSAT I believe a couple of times. I'm not entirely sure. I finished off with 33 kills I think it is, which isn't too bad. So this map it's got its good and bads like the DLC does. The goods is the layout of the map. It's very Treyarch-like. So what I mean is, there's 3 ways, so you've got the 2 spawns and there's 3 ways to go between them, and you have 2 ways to go in between those 3 ways. I'm trying to explain it. So here you have the left, you have the right, and you have the middle, and then you have 2 ways to get into the middle from the side spawn as well. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Wherever you spawn, you'll have 3 ways to get to a location, and that's kind of what happened in Black Ops a lot. You think of Nuketown, it's the exact same deal. You've got a house, you've got the 2 alleyways on both sides. So this is roughly about the same. Modern Warfare 3 was a little bit different. It didn't really follow that trait a lot. It did for a couple of maps, didn't for a couple of maps. So this is the layout of the map is pretty good. Now, there are a couple of cool things, like the markings on the wall to my right. They're counting off the days, I believe. You can find quite a lot of crabs lying around, like actual moving crabs, and fish as well in the ocean. And you can go quite a long way out for like this. There's this swimming glitch where you can go quite a long way out into the sea, which is pretty cool. And also kind of the look of the map. The look of the map's it's pretty decent. It's very relaxed. It feels very Black Ops like in my opinion. It's got that feel to it that I would kind of think of putting this into Black Ops if it wasn't in Black Ops 2. It's kind of that game, you know, I'm trying to explain it. It's very Call of Duty like. It's not taken very seriously. It's like 2 teams on a deserted island. It's a really good map. I like it. The negatives, however, are although you can come across a lot of close quarter combat, you can also come across a lot of long range combat. And by that I mean there are a lot of snipers on this map. A real lot of snipers. And that can be a pretty hard thing. So obviously with me, I'm sniping here, and as you can see, it's fairly easy to pick off some guys at long range. And you know, you've got guys down there. I can take them out pretty sure. So even at that range there, he got a couple of shots on me, but still, look at this. I can aim straight down there and take him out, no problem at all. So you know, it's definitely hard. Like all Call of Duty maps basically, you can get a lot of close quarter combat, and then you can also get a lot of long range combat as well. And that's really what I believe this map is about, kind of picking those things up. Now the negatives, besides a lot of snipers, the connections I find also are a little bit bad. You can see me jumping a lot in this game, and it's in theater mode, and I think I was on a 3 bar most of the game, and most of the other players were too. So it's not exactly the best of connections I find with this Vengeance DLC, the actual playlist of it. So, you know, you kind of have to make do with what you've got. So, as you can see, I kind of skip around a little bit, and that's just every now and then there'll like be a big surge of lag, and that's not exactly what we want. So, if you spawn at A, you can turn around and you can see Hijacked, which is pretty cool. I believe it's Hijacked. It looks identical to the exact same ship that is on Hijacked, which is pretty cool. They're both set in international waters, apparently, so they kind of have the same location, so I can kind of see the point of putting it in. There's a VSAT, which is pretty cool, and I think I die one off twice, which is unlucky. But overall, it was a pretty close game at the end. Now the whole Vengeance DLC, I reckon it's good because Uplink, I believe that was a pretty good remaster. Except for the clothing of the people. I have a pretty good gameplay coming up. It's 53 kills in hardpoint, and I go on an absolute tear with the Swarm, with the Lightning Strike and the VSAT, and it's a very good map. I think it's not on par with Summit. It's a little bit worse, and I'll explain more of that in that video. I'm trying to get a good rush gameplay. That's hard because likewise it's very close quarters, but then you can also get sniped a lot as well. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what I should do on that map, and mostly it's the MSMC for me. So I'll try and get a good gameplay of that out. It's a pretty good map, Rush. I find Search and Destroy and Demolition are best for Rush. I like them, as well as Domination and Hardpoint. They're pretty solid too. Kill confirmed, I'm not too fussed about. So yeah, really, it's just up to you what you prefer. But Detour, I absolutely hate Detour. The layout of that map is so annoying. I've played Domination on it, I've played Kill Confirmed, and I think I've played Hardpoint, and I cannot stand the spawns for that map, the layout of it, and the idea of above and under. Sure, it's a good idea, but it is so annoying. You will just fall down randomly and you'll be on the lower level, or you could fall down completely and you'll die, which I did 2 off a Swarm, I believe, and that I was raging pretty hard at that. It's not the best of maps. Also the colour of the map, you know, here you've got sand, you've got rock, you've got surf, you've got grass. You can differentiate, you can like tell where an enemy is, whereas Detour at long ranges, they're all that orangey browny colour, I find, which kind of makes it really hard to pick out who's shooting you and who isn't. And you also have, like they said, long range combat up the top, which is good for like a FAL or an AN-94, SMR, even a sniper. But then underground, it's kind of that hard range in between an assault rifle and in between an SMG, and that's why I kind of don't like it. It's really hard to tell what you should use on that map. So for Cove, I'll probably say SMG, assault rifle, or sniper. You can kind of do all of those really. You can get away with sniping, as you can see here, and you can also get away with using a submachine gun if you're good at kind of running around. Look at this. Look at that. That's terrible. And you can also use an assault rifle like that guy was there. So it's a good map for that. Navigating your way around the map's also a good idea so that you can always face the enemy from the side and from the behind, from shooting them in the back. So if you're good at navigating the map, then I say you'll go fairly well. So yeah,